but you should be able to see everyone right now.
Testing.
Yes. Because I despise having something touching my ear, so I play with my speakers. But in this case, since this is a talk show, I'm trying to prevent echoes. So I'm using headphones. Moving on. Well, I was asking what's the strangest material you have used. So right now, thanks for the confirmation. Has everyone answered this? Did I miss someone?
I can't really come up with anything strange that I used. Like, it's basic stuff usually.
I can think of a couple of things. I think Azu.Lea heard them last time she was here. One of them was credit card cutouts for my armor pieces. I mean, I had some bracers that were made in vinyl, but vinyl is flexible, so it doesn't really look like an armor. So underneath, I put some expired credit card cutouts. The other one is edible. It's a pack of jelly. I don't have it with me right now.
Yep, I remember. Yes.
If you have played Super Smash Bros., you'll notice that Fox and Falco have a reflector that is like a hexagon with a light in the center. But I don't like tampering with electronics, so I decided to, instead of putting a light, I just putting a pack of jelly that's green, and it's kind of glossy.
Nice.
So it did the job. I have a question that's like, okay, before in the at the very beginning, my cosplay gallery in Instagram wasn't supposed to be a cosplay gallery. The first posts were meant to be a travel blog. So I always ask my guests, what's the farthest from home that you've been in cosplay or in a geek convention?
It's either... Technically, I've been a couple different places. I don't know which one is technically the farthest, but I'm gonna say China because that was the longest flight.
Ooh.
Yeah, I was there for CCAF in 2017, and I think that flight was like 15 hours. So...
I think you already win in distance.
For sure.
For sure, exactly.
For me, the furthest, I think, Sweden. Last year, I was in NCC as like helper, but that's the furthest so far, at least.
Mm-hmm.
Well, for me, it's Tallinn.
Estonia.
Yeah.
Right?
I'm thinking which one's further, Lithuania or Estonia?
Yeah, I was thinking.
Because I have only been in the Baltics, because we're slowly working up to going to Germany at some point.
In my case, it was the opposite. I started by traveling to Germany. That was the first time I rode a plane. And the farthest I've been, I think, is Estonia as well. No, I was. I have a friend who is really wishing to go to Latvia, but we have a conflict in interests because First of all, she works at the Ministry of Education, so she only can travel when the kids are on vacation.
Mm.
And she despises the cold, so she prefers to travel in summer, where everything is expensive and everything is hot, just like here. So to me, it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
That's why I prefer traveling between October and March. And I haven't really decided a destination this year, but recently I had a dispute with British Airways because on my last flight, one of my departure flight was delayed by 1 day. So I was given a voucher valid for $650. So I have to use it within a year from now. So I will be traveling to Europe, but I still haven't decided a destination. But I'm trying to, if not her, I'm trying to find another travel companion to go with me, so that we can both go and see the snow for the first time. So it might.
I haven't been outside of the country yet, so I haven't got the chance.
All right. I have a question for the ones who have traveled abroad. What's the funniest moment you remember while being abroad?
So I was in Japan in 2010 for World Cosplay Summit, and this wasn't even related to the actual event, but my cosplay partner and I were out in the evening somewhere, and we ran into this Japanese guy. He was clearly very drunk, and he started talking to us because we are clearly not Japanese, in broken English, and he's just like, "Oh, where are you from?" And we're like, "Oh, we're from America." And he goes, "Oh, I am from Japan."
We can clearly see that.
In case there was any doubt.
Yeah, that's why it was so we got back to the hotel room.
I'm not Chinese. Don't compare me to those people.
I was like, "Sir, we're in Japan. You are clearly Japanese."
He must have been in Narnia for not knowing where he was.
He was just very drunk. Very nice man.
At least that. At least that.
Yeah, he wasn't like harassing us or anything. He was being very friendly. It was just so funny.
Anyone else?
Well,
you.
it's not super funny,
Mm-hmm.
but when me and my sister were in Tallinn and we were dressed as foxes, just because we were dressed as foxes, we got invited to an event. And we went there, and there was like very artistic music. And I was like, okay. I guess that's art. But not super funny, just interesting experience. Everyone's like, "Oh, foxes, foxes!" Like, okay.
while the rest of you come up with something, I can tell you one of mine. Okay, the first time I went to Germany, I went to it was called the Manga Comic Con. Previously I told you that I have a Falco cosplay. I took my Falco to Germany, and at the event there were some Japanese tourists taking pictures. Since I was dressed as Falco, no one could see my face, no one could see any part of me. I was completely covered in my costume. But then one of them approached me. You could tell he was really struggling to speak in German, but he could only spit like 3 words. He was like, "Kann Foto zusammen," and I was like, "Yeah, you want a picture together?" Mm-hmm. I just nodded. While we were taking the picture, while we were posing, I asked the guy next to me in Japanese, "Nihonjin desu ka?" And the 3 of them in unison responded to me in German, "Ja, Japanisch, Dankeschön."
Aye.
I'm trying to communicate in Japanese because I have better chances to understand you in Japanese than in German. Vesa?
I can't actually recall anything very funny in outside of country cons. I just remembered one funny moment in our con, like local one. So it was we were like waiting for award ceremony, and there was music playing and stuff, and Crab Rave started to play. And the judges, the cosplay judges with organizers, just stood in a circle and started dancing and raving for everyone while we were waiting.
Vibe?
The only thing I can remember is the fact that every time we go to Estonia for J-Zone, we get into an argument about where to stay. Because there's this one hotel that I really like the shower in, and if my friend decides to book a different location, that starts a spat. Because I like that location specifically for their shower and nothing else. I want that shower. Because
Understandable.
it has a heated floor, and it's really nice to go in. It's very convenient. And then usually the excuse is like, oh, but like, you know, different locations are maybe closer or like something. I'm like, no, I need that shower. At this point, I'm genuinely thinking of like maybe renting it out for like 2 weeks just so I can calm down with the idea of having that shower. No other place can compare. We have went to like a lot of locations in Estonia, and I don't like any of them. Estonia is the way to go with that one location.
Please send me the hotel for next
Exactly.
Tuesday.
Send me when you get there. Exactly. Or
Asking
even the
for a
materials
friend.
on the heated floor.
I can ask my friend which one it is because I don't even know the name. I just roughly know the area where it is. I don't know the name or the address, nothing. I just know how it visually looks because of the shower.
Ah, nice.
So you just know the shower.
I know the shower. I don't remember how the other rooms look like, but I know the shower.
So it's a specific room.
I got a text message from that friend saying that they're not giving me that information to spill.
How much money they need for give the information? Tell me.
Chris, how much money? He said he doesn't know.
Oh, dang it.
How
We're
about coffee,
roommates, so-
snacks, or artist merch? Would that work?
He said 400 for people.
Oh, wow. Jesus.
No, they're asking how much they should pay you for the information.
Don't tell me it's right there next to you.
He is next door because we're roommates. He's just silently texting me, even though he said 2K. Okay,
Wow. Okay.
never mind 3K.
Jesus.
The price increases.
That's scalping.
I don't know what he needs the money for.
Cosplay.
Anime merch.
He doesn't cosplay. Melons.
Melons.
Why melons specifically?
Chris, do you want to come do the show for me, or? He said no.
Oh, come on. Don't be shy. We don't bite.
Unless you ask.
He might be into that.
Now we know who will get information.
I shall share when I get it.
Chris,
do.
Chris, I
Please
can
do,
hear you
Vesa.
laughing there.
Melons for the shower information.
We have people interested in the audience.
What kind of melon? There's no answer. He's probably gonna text me again. Just a single one, apparently.
Shall we move on to another topic?
Probably should.
Have you ever invested on a cosplay element just for the LOLs?
I've thought about it, but nope, never followed through.
Don't think about it, just do it. Last year I premiered a Link cosplay from Zelda, but I don't have a sword. I didn't want to go empty-handed, so I decided to cook a little something.
You know, I think the closest I've ever gotten to doing something just for the lulz was I didn't personally have to do anything because my costume was the simplest, but I had a group where in 2023 we did a cosplay skit that the entire premise was oops, all Waluigis. And we staged a miniature cosplay contest in this skit, and each costume that came on stage was just a progressively more unhinged interpretation of Waluigi. So we had standard Waluigi, which is what I showed up in, and then we had a magical girl Waluigi, we had a warlock Waluigi, we had somebody who merged Prince and Waluigi, so was the artist formerly known as Waluigi. We had somebody who did a fancy Art Nouveau Waluigi. It was positively unhinged.
I would love to see the Prince one.
There's a video. There's a video of this skit, and it's pretty amazing. And so each character had their own, background audio that we put in for each of them. And for the artist formerly known as Waluigi, they played a clip of Raspberry Beret, but they dubbed it over to be Wazberry Beret.
That's what I was going to ask next. Did they do the
Yeah. Oh yeah, the whole thing.
Oh, damn it.
Anyone else?
My performances usually are a little bit more serious. The most funny one, I think it was last one with Sabo, but it was just like by the song Everyone Loves Me to lol that everyone loves Sabo and I'm the best, but that, well, I guess was a little bit funny. And I always want to do something more funny, but I always think that, okay, I might not have same humor as like audience. Will it actually be funny? So I just end up doing something more serious in the end.
Comedy's hard.
It is very hard.
Yeah.
It's a form of art. Another of my props was well, back in 2015, I still didn't have any Marvel cosplays, and there was this event called Marvel Expo. So I was sure that there were going to be some X-Men cosplays there. So the day before, I went to the mall and had a T-shirt printed with the logo of the Friends of Humanity. And then I made a cardboard sign saying, "No more mutants." That was the cheapest cosplay I've ever had, and I was right. There were a lot of X-Men cosplays there. Am I missing someone? Yeah. Did everybody answer already?
Well, I don't remember anything funny, so.
That's alright.
I'm more like Vesa. Like every runway I do is like it's not that serious, but I'm like focused on being on character, so I haven't done anything funny so far.
Alright. Some time ago, after one of the first episodes of this show, I was given a suggestion because previously I had a lot of yes-no questions. So if the answer was no, that was the end of it. So I was suggested to put together a bunch of yes-no questions. So I have a list here of like 10 questions. You only need to answer yes or no. The first one says, can you use a sewing machine?
Yes.
Yes.
No.
I'll show you my sewing machine. I can also sew buttons by hand. Number 2 says, have you made armors?
Yes.
Nope.
In progress.
In progress.
No.
No. I made one. Never again.
Why?
Because it took me a year.
Oof. Yeah, the one time that I did armor, it was only like a few pieces, thankfully, but it still took me like 3.5 months to make those pieces.
I really liked my Cyrax cosplay, but it's I have it on sale actually. But no, I don't want to be. I'm a little like Azu.Lea. I try to avoid the crafting part. I'm more into performance.
Well, I avoid both. I take pictures.
So I suppose your answer will be no to the next question, which is, do you like acting?
Yes.
Yes.
Not anymore.
Not anymore, you used to.
Yeah, as a kid, Like, until 4th grade, me and my sister loved performing and acting.
Number 4 says, have you used your own hair for a cosplay?
No.
Yeah. In the beginning, the whole time.
Yes, in the very, very beginning, I did one. Never again.
What happened?
I cut bangs for it, and my hair did not do what it should do. I had these bangs that just flipped outward, and I'm like, that's not what that's supposed to do. Never again. Wigs are better.
They just
No.
feel right.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, without a wig, it feels like you're just trying on the cosplay. I don't know.
Mhm. Yeah.
Like, for me, I haven't used my own hair for cosplays, but I've been told, like, the first few days that my hair is painted, I should be like, straight up Urza Scarlet from Fairy Tail.
Oh, I get that a lot too because I have orange hair and I cosplay Keyleth from Critical Role. And when I took off my wig, friends were like, "Why do you even need the wig? Your hair is like the same."
It's not the same. You can't
Yeah,
style
exactly.
human hair. You can't
Exactly.
style human hair the way you style wigs. You just can't.
Yeah, though I have my friend who cosplays and if the character is brown hair, she uses her own hair. And she styles it pretty well actually too. And I'm very impressed by that, but I could never.
It takes so much time.
It does.
I think I have the opposite problem. I really love cosplaying Sheogorath, but it's really hard for me to take him to a convention because the rest of my characters have a shaved face. And I need like 3 weeks to grow a proper beard.
Yeah.
So my facial hair is an obstacle, but if I could, I would bring out my Sheogorath more often. That reminds me, for next week, which is our next convention, I'll need to shave my eyebrows.
Ooh,
At least a little.
that scares me.
Yeah.
But they grow back quickly.
They grow back. That's what I keep saying. That's what I keep telling to myself. They grow back.
No, I was told they grow back very quickly. So.
Yeah, that's true because I styled my eyebrows like 2 weeks, and they always grow hair, and I'm like, oh fuck, I have to style it again. No. So don't worry, they will grow again.
And then they don't. You're
I
gonna
was
be
trying to
accepted.
give positive feedback. Come on.
There's positive people and then there's realistic people.
Exactly.
Yes, his hair, it will grow. But I'm terrified.
I know that my eyebrows grow back and return to its original form. The first time I did that was in 2022, when I think that was that's when I arrived. That's when I say that I had achieved the mastery of disguise, because I spent an entire day dressed as Scarlet from Mortal Kombat, and it was like 6 or 7 p.m. and there were still people around who thought that I was a girl. People that I knew, friends of mine,
Oh.
who had no idea that it was me. Question 5 says, if a ninja falls off a tree and there's no one around to hear it, does he still make a sound?
Yes, because physics.
Because
Yes.
physics.
I'll go with that as well. Physics.
A scientific answer.
Wouldn't it be like silent either way?
I think it depends on the tree.
And the skills.
Everything is relative. Question 6 says, if I own 2 pink giraffes, will I be forced to take harmonica lessons?
Depends on what you feed them.
Depends on the diet.
Only if they like music, I think.
I think it depends on the rules for exotic pets where you live.
I got that last episode.
Then it must be true.
Question 7 says, if you were a forest psychologist, would you practice vegetarianism?
No.
Nope.
No, because I
Yeah.
would be too fed up being psychologist of theirs.
Yeah. I wouldn't want to eat my clients.
That's true.
Makes sense. Question 8 says, do you think Kirby has any teeth?
No.
Yes.
It's like a vacuum. I don't think he has teeth.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with no.
I haven't seen any official arts with Kirby showing any teeth.
Yeah. Though that doesn't mean he doesn't have them. I mean, if you look at How to Train Your Dragon, Toothless's teeth retract.
Yes.
Yeah,
Just because we haven't seen them doesn't mean he doesn't have them.
that is true.
Okay.
I was going to say, like, now it came the image of Diglett. Like, there are people explaining that he has a teeth in his mouth, and I'm like, no, I can't picture that. No.
Well, some of us did not need any visual nightmares today.
It's okay, I'm an artist, I can draw it.
I want to see that now.
I could.
But with pointy teeth, maybe it will look better.
Just like take Toothless's teeth and just paste it in.
Yep.
Question 9 says, have you ever been interviewed by another cosplayer?
Yes.
Not a cosplayer.
Not a cosplayer.
Same, not a cosplayer. Yeah.
No.
Question 10 says, have you ever encountered someone dressed as the same character as you?
Yes.
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 Yeah.
Many
How did
times.
he go?
Usually good. I made a bunch of friends once from my friends. We were cosplaying 4 characters from Final Fantasy IX, and we walked downstairs and almost immediately ran into a set of people cosplaying the same 4 characters from Final Fantasy IX. So we immediately were like,
Wow.
twins!
Exactly.
And the other time was at a cosplay contest, and my group was doing the circus arc characters from Kuroshitsuji, and we were doing a skit in this competition, and we're on our way down to judging. And we run into another group who is also doing circus arc from Kuroshitsuji, who is also competing. We have back-to-back judging slots.
Oh wow.
And this was before that arc was animated, so the odds of this happening were very slim.
That's amazing. For me, my favorite moment when I met the person cosplaying the same characters was one of the conventions. I was cosplaying Nurse from Dead by Daylight, the Valentine's version. And I thought no one will know the skin. What are the chances that there's going to be a cosplay? And there was another girl who was cosplaying her, and she went on a stage. And everyone during that con mixed us up because I was, well, more popular at the moment. Well, more people knew me. And it was her debut. And everyone was saying to me, "Oh, such a nice performance. You did so well." I'm like, "No, that was me." And someone tagged us in tagged me in a story with her photo. And during that, we met at the con, and we were like, "Oh, cool costume." And in the stores, when everyone started tagging me, I would send everything to her, and we would start laughing about it. And now we're actually pretty good friends because of that.
That's nice.
Like, the only time I remember someone having the same cosplay as me, it was when I first started. Like, the first year that I started, I was in Shenhe of Genshin Impact. And in the convention, I found two girls, like, with the same outfit. And we were, like, making a group to take photos and interact with everyone. And I saw the two girls, and I was like, slay. Slay! Finally, I found someone like me! Because I haven't found anyone in the convention. I was like, no, this is not true. No, she's like a popular character. This is not true. Then I found those two. I was like, oh my god, yay!
For me, it was last year when I was cosplaying Hua Cheng, and my friend was also cosplaying, but we each had different versions. My friend made everything themselves. I of course bought stuff, but also like second-hand stuff, not official cosplay. And then we went to convention, and then we met one more person. And since we all three were taking pictures also, then we also took that picture, like that Spider-Man meme with cameras. So
I remember that time in 2011 when I premiered my cosplay of The Mask. There was another guy cosplaying The Mask. I never saw him because as soon as he got off the stage after his skit, he got changed immediately. So what happened that the next day, all the photos of The Mask have me tagged as if I was him.
Oh no.
Oh.
Know the feeling.
And yeah, we were both competing. We were in different categories, so he went first. So more people saw that. And my category was the group category. We did the choreography of the cops, the Cuban Pete dance. So everybody thought he was me. Then the opposite occurred. That on the day I got my Scarlet cosplay for the first time, I was told, I never knew, but I was told that some photos in which I was appearing were being tagged with another lady who had previously cosplayed Scarlet as well. But I cannot confirm because I never saw those tags. I noticed that we're already 1 hour into the show.
Yay!
Yes, this is time for a celebration. Cheers for everyone. In case you haven't played The Elder Scrolls and you don't know who Sheogorath is, Oblivion just got a remastered version, so that's a nice opportunity to play. I don't know how many of you have a limited time. I don't want to abuse of your time, but usually these episodes take, or I try to make them last 1 hour. That's like how my script is designed. I still have a couple of questions that I haven't asked, but I don't want you to leave before I ask you if you could choose one person you would think would accept being on this show, who would it be?
I have so many people.
I know, I'm like basically everybody I know. I don't know.
But there is definitely one that you should invite, who's also a photographer, and I haven't seen him in cosplay in life, only in pictures. But there's Said, or Hobo. He was also coming to the Jetson and Unicorn to take pictures. You could totally invite him.
I totally agree with that. He's an amazing guy and he's very talkative.
Oh yeah, and he knows a lot.
Oh yeah.
Send me the username so I can find the right account. Anyone else?
I'm trying to think. Like
I know Azu.Lea has already given me some suggestions last time. I already contacted some of those. I already had Leo Workstation from Portugal, I think. I contacted all the Portuguese cosplayers that I was suggested. Some of them did not answer. The ones who did already were here.
Like, let me check.
But in any case, you can send me their usernames on the chat anytime. It doesn't have to be now. Let me just ask all of you one last question. What's your favorite thing about cosplay?
The people I get to meet.
Hmm.
Honestly, like all of my friends that I currently have come through cosplay, whether it's because I was judging them in a contest or we were competing in the same contest. It's such an easy way to find people who are interested in the same kind of stuff that you are without having to like necessarily bring it up in conversation. Like you're literally wearing it, you're broadcasting it. People can kind of tell what you're into, and if you're backstage at a competition, most of you are either into crafting or performing or both, and that kind of narrows down the field to like, okay, you know that these are the same kind of cosplayers because there's so many kinds of cosplayers now. You know, people who, you know, just buy stuff and just walk the con floor, people who are hardcore into crafting, people who are just into performance, and it's nice to have those areas where you can find the people that are into the specific kind that you are, and you just have that automatic connection. It makes things easier.
I think I'm going with Sumi says as well. Like, the interactions that I have with people, like coming to me or even speaking with me because I know them, like it's so good. Like speaking with them or even like people recognizing the character. Like this was not in a convention, but like I was doing a photo shoot of my Yellen from Genshin Impact, and a kid passed right next to me and he said, "Wow, you're so gorgeous," and I'm like, "Oh my god, I'm going to melt." Like those types of interactions are so good to hear.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, same for me. I think people I meet is the best part because same I found a lot of friends through cosplay. I found a very close friend at the moment, my photographer that we work closely, and we met through cosplay even though she knew nothing about cosplay, but she accidentally found my profile, and same for me, hers. So it's just amazing. But in the same time, cosplay itself for me is like therapy. Yeah, it's hobby and stuff, but it helps me relax a lot after like hard day. Just sit down, watch some anime or TV show, and just craft something, do something. So those two things are the best.
I can't pick one thing. Definitely people. Everyone's sweet and cool. I definitely also love taking pictures of performances. And also, I like preparing cosplays, even though I can't really do lots of stuff myself, but I still love that part too. So it's like everything that can also learn new stuff.
Based on the previous photographers I've had here, most of you are contortionists when taking pictures.
Not me.
You're not.
Photographer yoga. Just.
Well, normally photographers have those cameras where you have to look through that small part, so
Mhm.
it's more difficult. And because I have problems with health, part of the reason why I have the camera where there's just the screen,
Mhm.
I can just look at the screen and move the
Oh, yeah.
camera. Not myself.
Yeah.
The wonders of technology. I'm glad with your answers today. I usually get a very common answer that is the reaction of the children. In my case, I prefer the reaction of the grown-ups.
Yeah.
I have a 60s Batman costume, and the day I premiered it, the day I performed a skit with it, after the contest, some older guy showed up in front of me and told me, I grew up with that show! And looking at you on the stage was like watching a new episode of the show. You could tell that you studied the character. It brought me back to my childhood.
I love that stuff.
Yeah, these I think are amazing moments when someone just so happy to see your character and they bring back some memories or something. It just warms my heart.
Let me look for my Scarlet pictures.
I should probably answer the question as well. Like, I got very deep into thought. Because I was thinking, I think I have like 3 reasons, but they kind of tie together. The main being that I really, really enjoy crafting in general. That's why I have a fashion degree. It very comes in handy in general, but the aspect of like making something that is not really traditional for like fashion things, like cosplay is more creative than, in my opinion, fashion. And then on top of that, to go on stage and feel the freedom of like expressing yourself, and then get off of that stage and having people come up to you and say, oh my god, you inspired me to get into cosplay, which has happened so many times to me already that like I keep recalling them just when I feel horrible, just to get myself going and like prepping like for other performances and like just in general going to cons.
Yeah, that too. Okay, this is Scarlet from the game, from Mortal Kombat 11.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
This is my cosplay.
Nice.
Yeah, obviously the easel and the painting was only for a photo shoot, but I didn't really bring that to any convention. But yes, that's that's from the time that I was mistaken by a lady. Oop. So I can display the comments in any order, and they still make sense.
I was going to say, well, sorry for the nightmares, man.
Okay, I'm gonna put an end to this show. You don't need to go anywhere. I'm just going to cut the transmission from Twitch. As I always say, everything is relative, except that which is absolute. In that case, it would be absolutely relative. We'll see you in the future.